Hello, my friend, the one who carries the sacred fire of Aries. If you're hearing these words right now, it's not a coincidence. The universe is calling your name. And maybe, just maybe, you've been feeling something different lately, as if an invisible door is about to open. Nostradamus once said, "There are moments when a person stands between the old and the new, and with just one breath, everything can change." Tonight, we'll talk about that very moment, November 9th. The day destiny begins to move for Aries. A day carved into the current of destiny. November 9th. It isn't an ordinary day. It's a heartbeat deep within the universe itself. A moment when light and shadow briefly merge, when the invisible gate between heaven and earth slowly opens. Nostradamus once wrote of this day, as if he had seen the soul of Aries long before it was born, a soul of fire, preparing to awaken after a long silence. Since the dawn of the stars, there have been days, not chosen by man but destined by heaven. November 9th is one of them. When the planets shift ever so slightly, Jupiter begins to call the name of Mars, your celestial guardian. Between them, a bridge of blazing red energy forms, connecting power with purpose. And under that bridge of light, Aries will no longer wander in search of direction. You will become the one chosen to move forward. Can you feel it? Something is rising within you. Not loud, not rushed, but steady, like molten fire slowly finding its way back to the surface. Deep inside your soul, a soft voice begins to speak again. The voice of your spirit, long covered by the dust of endurance, the years of doubt, the storms that once tried to drown your faith. But Aries, real fire never dies. It only waits for the moment it's meant to burn again. Nostradamus called this the hour of the summoned warrior. And if you listen closely, you'll sense that even the universe itself has gone quiet, waiting for you to awaken. Every small sign around you, a strange wind, the morning light arriving earlier than usual, a dream that felt too real to ignore, they all whisper the same truth. It's time. When Jupiter and Mars join hands in the sky, the two greatest forces of action and expansion begin to align within you. Every decision, every breath, every choice you make in the days ahead will carry the strength of a new cycle, a 12-year era of growth and abundance, where the universe opens its gates so your soul can finally walk the path it was always meant to take. Perhaps you don't realize it yet, but every ending, every departure, every closed door was never meaningless. The people who left, the nights that broke you, the losses that felt unfair, they were all shaping your heart, forging it in the fire, so that when November 9th arrived, you'd be strong enough to receive what was always meant for you, because only a heart that has known loss truly understands the miracle of being given back to the light. Close your eyes for a moment. Can you feel it? Something in the air is shifting, subtle as the breath of dawn, yet deep as the echo of the heavens. It isn't imagination, it's intuition, in the first language of the soul. And the soul of Aries is beginning to speak again, in the language of light, of courage, of life itself. Because every time an Aries rises, the world grows warmer. The universe knows this. Nostradamus knew this. And that is why this day exists, to awaken the flame you once forgot. So when you feel that spark flicker in your chest, don't be afraid. Let it lead you. Because beyond this first glimmer of light, something even greater is waiting. A sacred union between heaven and earth, between Jupiter, the bringer of fortune, and Mars, the guardian of your divine fire. A rare alignment, one that happens only once in 12 years. And when it does, your world will never be the same again. At the moment of November 9th, in the deep silence of the night sky, something subtle begins to move, so gentle the human eye can't see it, yet powerful enough to change the course of an entire soul. Jupiter, the planet of growth and fortune, is reaching out a glowing arm of light toward Mars, the guardian of Aries. Their meeting doesn't create an explosion. It opens a new path, the path where action and faith become one. They say there are moments in life when destiny only needs a single nod, and the rest depends on whether we dare to take the step. November 9th is that moment. When Jupiter whispers to Mars, the universe begins to rewrite your story. A radiant red portal like a ribbon of light floating across the heavens opens only once every 12 years, calling forth the awakening of your courage. Nostradamus once wrote, "When the flame of the warrior meets the wind of heaven, destiny is reborn without the sword." That line wasn't just a prophecy, it was a reminder that some battles are not won by force but by the light within the heart. And Aries, your soul has reached the moment when it must finally understand that truth. Imagine looking up at the sky one quiet night. Maybe you won't see the planets themselves, but on the level of energy, they're dancing around you, creating rhythms your heart already feels, even if your mind can't explain them. You may suddenly want to begin again, or feel a quiet pull to mend something left unfinished. That's not coincidence, it's the whisper of the cosmos. Because when Jupiter expands, it reopens doors that once seemed closed. And when Mars ignites, it awakens your raw courage, the part of you that once dared, once loved with all its might, once rose again after falling. These two energies are now seeking each other, merging into something rare: faith joined with action. So if life feels like it's shifting direction, trust it. Don't fight it. Don't try to understand everything. Just be still and listen. Listen with your heart, with your breath, with the silence between two heartbeats. Because there, in that stillness, you'll hear what reason cannot say, the invitation of the universe, asking you to step through your red gate. Not everyone will see this gate, but those who carry the flame of Aries will feel it. It's the moment when you stop fighting life and start co-creating with it. When you stop asking, "When will it happen?" and instead whisper, "I'm ready." Jupiter will teach you to open your heart. Mars will remind you to act not from fear, but from love. And when these two meet within your soul, the world will fall silent for a single breath, like that still moment before dawn, when light hasn't yet appeared but no one doubts that it will. And in that silence, something miraculous begins to move. A new current of energy opens, flowing into your life, carrying the promise of abundance, unseen opportunities, and the quiet return of faith. But before you can see it unfold, you'll be led deeper, to a place where luck is no longer something outside of you, but the very force awakening from within. In the great motion of the universe, there are rare moments when the energy of heaven and earth seems to breathe in rhythm with the human heart. November 9th is one of those moments. Under the gaze of the stars, golden waves of energy spiral softly around Jupiter's orbit, spreading their light through the sky, and gently knocking on the doors of hearts that have long forgotten the sound of faith. The ancient astrologers called it the golden gate of successful action. It's the time when every effort made by Aries begins to crystallize into visible results. No longer just a seed hidden in the dark, what you planted months ago is now reaching toward the light. You might recover delayed money, revive an old project, or receive an unexpected offer from somewhere you never imagined. But beyond material rewards, this is the universe's way of saying, "I've been watching you all along." Because Jupiter doesn't just bring luck, it brings recognition. It seeks out those who never gave up, those who kept walking even when the wind blew against them. And Aries, you belong to that kind. You've lived through enough seasons of loss to understand the true value of every blossom that finally blooms. Picture yourself standing in a field after the storm. The sky is clear again. The earth is damp with rain, and from its depths, small green shoots begin to rise. That is the symbol of this season in your life. Finances, career, even a small idea, everything is preparing to sprout anew. Nostradamus once wrote of the warrior discovering treasure beneath his own ashes. And you know, that treasure has never been out of your reach. It doesn't hide in numbers or in bank accounts. It lives in your own hands, in your talent, in your will, in your integrity. When you work with love and faith, your energy glows like fire, spreading through the night sky, and those who need your light will find you. True prosperity isn't about having more. It's about understanding the worth of what you already hold. When you're grateful for small things, the universe believes you're ready for greater ones. November 9th isn't the day to wait for a miracle, it's the day to become one. Through action, through trust, through kindness in the way you face the world. And as that light begins to expand, it won't just shine on your finances. It will transform the way you see life itself. You'll realize that wealth isn't measured by what you own, but by how much good you create, how much joy you draw from what you've lived through. At the deepest point of this current of abundance lies a quiet truth, one that only souls who've stumbled and risen again can understand. Money is energy, and it flows only toward hearts open to love and gratitude. When you give, when you trust, when you live with honesty, that current always finds its way back to you, and then, in your own silence, you'll feel something move softly but undeniably, like the wind brushing through a forest at night, like the heartbeat of the earth itself. It's the sign that your journey is about to deepen to a realm where not only the material, but the soul itself begins to unlock, a realm where the light no longer shines on you, but begins to shine from within you. Amid the noise and motion of the outer world, there flows a quiet current, one that only the most sensitive souls can feel. It's the current of awakening. During the week when the sun forms a perfect trine with Neptune, an invisible window opens in your consciousness. It doesn't arrive with blinding light, but with a soft spark, gentle as the breath of dawn, just bright enough to touch the hidden corners of your soul. From that, the place, a strange new feeling begins to rise, silent, yet powerful. You start to hear your own heart more clearly, to feel the rhythm of your spirit after years of quiet endurance. The things that once hurt you, that once brought you to your knees, begin to turn transparent. You realize they were never punishments, but refinements, fires through which the light could pass unbent by fear. Nostradamus once wrote, "When the warrior learns to listen to the wind, the flame within becomes the light of wisdom." And it's true, only in silence can we finally hear ourselves. In that silence, you discover you no longer have to chase the light because you are the light. This is not an easy phase. Awakening never is. It's not a path of comfort but of courage. You might feel empty, directionless, as if an old part of you is fading away. Don't be afraid. It's simply your soul preparing for expansion, just as a seed must break open before it can reach the sun. During this time, your intuition becomes stronger than ever. You may look into someone's eyes and feel what they cannot say. You'll notice truths you used to overlook, and you'll just know in a way that can't be explained who's genuine and who's not. Neptune gives you the gift of empathy, allowing you to listen not just with your ears, but with your heart. And as that inner light spreads, forgiveness begins to bloom, not only toward others, but toward yourself. You forgive the years lived in doubt, the times you were too hard on yourself, the dreams you left behind. You realize that everything you've been seeking outside has always been inside, waiting to be seen, waiting to be loved. When that realization arrives, something miraculous happens. What once frightened you becomes as light as smoke, and through your eyes the world begins to change color. It's no longer a place of struggle, but a space of experience where every moment, good or bad, is teaching you to become a brighter version of yourself. And in that moment, your heart expands. You feel as if a breeze from the heavens is passing through your soul, so gentle it makes no sound, yet so deep it brings tears to your eyes, not from sadness, but from understanding. Amid the quiet turning of the stars, there are rare moments when the human heart is allowed to remember how to feel again. November 9th is one of those moments when Venus, the planet of love, enters the emotional realm of Aries and gently awakens the softest corner of the warrior's soul. If you have ever loved, been hurt, and walked through long nights carrying a heavy heart, this is the time to learn how to love once more, not with innocence, but with awareness. With the wisdom of a heart that has known loss, love returns, not like a storm crashing down, but like a tender light after the rain revealing the cracks, yet warming every broken piece inside you. For those already in a relationship, this is a moment of honesty with yourself and with the one beside you. Sometimes a single truthful word, a glance without armor, can dissolve years of misunderstanding. You'll realize love doesn't need to be perfect. It only needs to be real, and it is that very truthfulness that rekindles the fire between two souls, not in the past, but here, in the present, where hearts still beat even after they've been broken. For those walking alone, perhaps you don't know that in silence, the universe has already prepared an encounter. Someone with an aura warm as sunset light, golden around their edges, is drawing near. They will not resemble anyone you've known before. They're not coming to fill an empty space, but to awaken the stillness within you. When your eyes meet, you may not understand why your heart trembles. You'll just know that your soul has been recognized. For those who've been betrayed or lost their faith in love, this passage of Venus brings a different gift, the gift of closure. It's not about returning or revenge. It's about looking back with gratitude, for every ending was preparing you to love in a softer, truer way. When you stop searching for someone to complete you, real love will appear not from outside, but from the reflection in your own eyes. Love, in this time, is no longer a story of romance alone. It's a journey of deep healing. It teaches you to give without condition, to listen before seeking to be understood, and to hold your peace even when others can't yet return it. Because when you love from wholeness, love becomes light, not fire demanding, but warmth expanding. And when your heart opens, you'll come to see the deeper truth. Love doesn't arrive to save you. It arrives to remind you you've always been enough. Every person who enters your life, whether they stay or go, is a chapter of learning, teaching you that love is not possession, but recognition, seeing the other, and yourself in your truest light. As Venus moves through your sky, this energy touches more than romance. It softens friendships, family bonds, even the way you look at the world. Every conversation becomes a chance to understand more deeply, to see that we're not so different after all, each of us longing to be seen, heard, and loved. And in that moment, your heart will calm. You may even feel as if the universe itself places a gentle hand upon your shoulder, whispering, "You are ready to love without fear." Because true love never comes to teach us how to hold tighter, but how to let go of defenses, of ego, of fear, so we can touch the deepest part of our soul. From that peace, a new heartbeat rises, no longer driven by fear or longing, but by rebirth itself. As if the entire universe inhales with you, preparing for what comes next, something only open hearts can feel. When love is healed, real strength returns. Amid the quiet movements of the stars, there comes a rare moment when the universe seems to lean down, place its hand on your shoulder and whisper, "It's time to return." November 9th is that moment. When Mars and Jupiter join forces, the energies of action and expansion merge into one, creating a fire of rebirth within the soul of Aries. Not a fire that burns to destroy, but a gentle flame, warm, steady, the kind that knows how to rise again from its own ashes. If you've been tired, if your body has carried too much tension, if sleep no longer feels peaceful, this is the time when that heaviness begins to clear. Mars awakens the rhythm in every cell. Jupiter breathes fresh air into your mind. You'll feel an urge to stand, to take deeper breaths, to step outside and touch the early light. It's not just the body changing, it's a call from within, your soul preparing to live fully again. Nostradamus once wrote, "The warrior rediscovers his strength in the rhythm of his own heart." And you, Aries, are that warrior. Every heartbeat inside your chest is the drum of life, reminding you that no matter how dark the nights have been, you're still here, still breathing, still burning, still given another chance to begin. Let your body become a temple of peace. Listen to it. Eat what feels light. Drink water as if you're watering a garden that's been thirsty for too long. Breathe as if each inhale is a conversation with God. And when you sleep, let it be an act of faith that by the time you wake, the light will find you again. Rebirth doesn't arrive through grand changes. It comes through the smallest choices. A morning when you choose to smile instead of complain. A moment when you decide to forgive instead of resist. A night when you play soft music and let your soul rest. Those simple, quiet acts, repeated day by day, become the pure stream that washes your fatigue away. And as your body begins to feel lighter, your mind will clear too. The thoughts that once made you anxious will drift like mist. You'll even find gratitude for your old wounds because they led you back to calm. When body and mind return to balance, the soul begins to speak again softly, but so honestly that you can't help but stop and listen. That is the voice of life, not from the world outside, but from deep within. Like the warmth rising from the earth after rain, you'll feel vitality moving through you again. Your body feels renewed, your mind washed clean, your heart beating in rhythm with the light. You'll find yourself wanting to care more for yourself, for others, for the world. Because when life energy returns, compassion awakens with it. This rebirth isn't just personal. It's the universe reminding us of our shared power to heal not only ourselves, but one another. When you are well, your energy ripples outward. When you are peaceful, the world around you begins to soften too. And in that moment, when you realize that strength doesn't come from what you do, but from how you are, everything becomes clearer. Body, mind, and spirit meet at the point of stillness. There, you are no longer searching, you are returning. Because after the body renews and the mind resets, something deeper begins to move. A door opens not just so you can live better, but so you can start to hear the miracle your heart has always known yet never dared to believe, that behind every breath, there is a quiet tenderness of the universe, guiding you gently closer to your own true light. There are days when the universe doesn't speak through thunder, but through a quiet breeze brushing past your window, just enough to make you lift your head. November 9th is one of those days. Not a day to chase answers, but a day to pause, to prepare. Because before a miracle arrives, the universe always wants to know, is your heart truly ready to receive it? Aries, this is more than a message for you, it's a small ritual for your soul. Begin by clearing the space around you, not just to make things tidy, but because every object you pick up and put down carries memory and energy. When you let go, you create room for the new. Maybe it's just a cleaner desk, an open window welcoming the wind, or a corner lit softly by a candle's glow. Each one is a signal to the universe that says, I am ready. Then, write down what you desire. Not with longing, but with gratitude. Write as if it has already happened, as if you're thanking life for allowing it to unfold. When you write, your words become waves of energy. And in that higher vibration, even the impossible begins to move. The universe doesn't need your pleading, only your trust. Open your heart to gratitude. Because gratitude is the purest frequency in existence and energy that can shift any reality. When you give thanks for small things, you tell life you're ready for bigger ones. When you give thanks for challenges, you tell the universe you're strong enough to rise above them. And when you give thanks for your very breath, you touch the deepest foundation of all blessings. Before November 9th, take a few minutes each morning to sit in silence. Find a place touched by natural light. Close your eyes. Place your hand on your heart and whisper, "I am ready to receive the best that life has for me today." You don't need to know what that means. Good energy always finds its way to the right person, at the right time, in the right way. Don't plan every detail. Don't try to control every outcome. The universe doesn't follow logic, it follows the frequency of faith. When you allow life to arrange itself, everything begins to align, as if it had been written just for you. And when you go to sleep the night before, leave a small light glowing in your room, a symbol of hope. Imagine each breath you take in as light, and each breath you release as letting go of what you no longer need. Let that light spread through you, touching every cell, until your body itself becomes a living thank you to the universe. When you wake on the morning of November 9th, don't reach for your phone, reach for your heart. Take a deep breath and feel the world shifting. Not in noise, but in the gentle pulse of magic. And in that silence, you'll hear something both familiar and new, like the echo of your soul calling from the other side, like the breath of heaven moving through you. It's a reminder that what's coming isn't just luck or opportunity, it's a sacred meeting between you and the brightest part of who you are. A merging of light, where everything once scattered begins to return to its true direction. Where you'll finally understand that all of this preparation was never about welcoming an event, but about welcoming yourself. The radiant, courageous, and free spirit of Aries, coming home at last. When the flame learns the power of stillness, the warrior becomes the healer. That isn't just a prophecy, it's the final message for the souls born under the symbol of fire. Those who have fought, lost, walked through the darkest nights, yet never surrendered. Aries, you were never meant to live like everyone else. You were born to ignite, and sometimes the brightest flame is forged in the longest winter. November 9th is not simply a date on the calendar, it's an invitation from the universe written just for you. A new chapter of the next 12 years is opening. Everything that once made you hesitate, everything that made you doubt yourself, now becomes the foundation from which you rise with clarity, with courage, with light in your eyes. From this moment on, you are no longer the one searching for light. You are the one carrying it. Wealth, love, health, and purpose. Each will reveal itself in time as you cross this threshold. But the greatest gift is awakening the quiet, knowing that you don't need to become anyone else or prove anything. You only need to return to who you truly are: warm, honest, radiant. And when you do, every door begins to open on its own. The universe doesn't ask if you're ready. It only asks that you believe and step forward. Believe in your heartbeat, in the whisper that rises from your soul, and in the truth that everything happening right now is leading you home. Let November 9th be your declaration that you have lived, you have loved, you have believed, and you are ready for a new journey. Because every step you take from this point on carries not just your own hope, but the light for others still searching for theirs. When you heal yourself, you help the world heal in ways you may never see, but the stars will. And if you're hearing these words in silence right now, take a deep breath. Feel it. That breath is proof that you are still here, still loved, still protected, still chosen. Everything you need has always been within you, waiting for you to remember. Thank you, warrior of light, for walking with me to the end of this journey. Thank you for listening with your heart, for the courage to face yourself. Step into November 9th with a peaceful heart, an open soul, and a quiet faith that the best of life is already on its way to you. And when tonight falls, look up at the sky and smile, because the stars are still writing your name there, silently, sacredly, and with love. Until our next journey of light, I wish you peace, and I thank you from the depths of my heart.